Happy midday, everybody. Midday. Is that a thing? Sure it is. Why not? We'll give it a couple minutes, let some people jump in here and get on board. Let the announcement roll out. I'll be going live every day this week until Rule Zero. So that's cool. If you got anything in the chat, say hello so I can see that you're there. That'd be nice. I'm going to refresh this so I can see my stuff here. Looking for my own notifications. YouTube can sometimes lag on all that stuff. Let's see. How's everybody doing today? How's your Tuesday treating you? Yeah, here we go. Okay, cool. So the announcement is out there, definitely. All right, good. We can just sort of get started. So, what's up, everybody? Good morning from Australia. Good morning to you too. So the first, my first course just dropped, and people are really enjoying it. All right, and so I'm sorry you have a cold. Hopefully, you can start feeling better. It's that time of year, right? And so, yeah, my first course, the Alpha Mindset digital course, is live now. All right. You can get, if you're on the email list from now until closing Saturday afternoon after Rule Zero, 2 o'clock, I think is the time I put it at, Saturday, you can sign up for that course. It'll close after Saturday, and I'll reopen it to the public and to affiliates and to everybody else on Monday. And that price will be twice as expensive. All right. My thing is, so some clarification on why it's here, and then we'll talk about a few things regarding your mindset and why it's so important. But so the thing, I did this one out of necessity, I feel like. Okay. So as you know, most of what I do is I consult. Thank you very much. We'll put that there. Most of what I do is I consult with people on one-on-one individual sessions. So individual coaching or consultation type of sessions. I help dudes with being able to recondition their responses, emotions, behaviors, and beliefs, as well as navigate the sexual marketplace, meaning relationships, dating, all that good stuff. All right. So those are the key things that I do. Is we could call it mindset stuff, and then we could also call it relationship or intersexual dynamics, right? And so I give high level coaching and consultations to people week in, week out, day in, day out. That's primarily what it is. And I've gotten so booked that I know I need to be able to scale out what I'm doing so more you guys can get the information and start helping yourselves. But there's a couple of things with that. Well, first of all, let me explain a little bit. So what my role actually is, you guys understand. I'm delivering content and things that I'm finding out, of course, here to you and YouTube. That's cool. But what my role is as a coach or as a consultant is to try to help you get to your goal. Very much like a fitness coach is going to help you get to your fitness goal, right? If you go and see a personal trainer and you're trying to get in better shape and get a better body composition, look better, feel better, all that stuff, they're going to give you the exercises, the tools, and then they're going to be there as a motivator, of course, be some motivation for you. But they're also going to be able to monitor your progress and see if you're going off the rails, left or right. We call it an azimuth or a compass check, And so that's what a good coach is doing. You could think of a coach in terms of like, coaching a team or whatever, but it's not, with an individual, it's obviously a little bit different. A strength and conditioning coach isn't the athlete. Okay. He can't do the work for his client. He can't do the exercises for his client, but he gives his client the tools. And if those tools aren't working, then he shifts gears a little bit. The interest in at me as a coach or consultant, my interest is in results and actions. So I want to make sure you're getting the results based on the actions you're taking. If you're having trouble taking those actions, or if you're taking actions and not getting the results, we shift gears, we do something a little bit different. All right. So I'm invested in your results and how you're doing. I'm monitoring your results, and then we're shifting or figuring out what we need to change or do or keep the same so you can continue to get progress in whatever area you're trying to get progress in, right? And so that's what we're doing here. So I'm not the neurologist, I'm not the psychologist, I'm not the researcher. I take all of that information, just like the strength and fitness coach is not the exercise scientist. He's not in a university doing lab work and running clinical trials, but he is taking that information as well as information out in the field to develop a results based approach for his clients. That's what I do for you guys. So I'm not running clinical trials out of a university. I'm taking all that stuff and that information and figuring out, is it useful and how can we apply that information to get you the results you want. So now, in the process of doing that with clients and one-on-one sessions, okay, so I found myself, for example, because some people were asking about the seduction course or what's been termed as the frame course, right? When's that coming out? That's coming out soon too. But here's the thing. I would give a guy, let's say, the advice on what to do in his relationship to keep and maintain frame. And then he would go back and he would F it up. All right. And the reason he would F it up is because of what's going on up in here in his internal game. I would give him the game plan. We would come up with a roadmap, a male action plan, we could call it. We would come up with a plan. He would know what to do. He would know what, he would understand the psychology behind it. He read all the books, he's been watching all the channels. He knows what he's supposed to do. Then it comes down to the execution. He can't execute. And that's where the inner game stuff matters, because most of you guys know what to do. It's just that you're not executing. Now, I had a client of mine recently, which, so I'll give some of his issues were pretty serious, actually. And in fact, I won't obviously mention names or anything, but it was a substance abuse thing. We're going to talk about addictions, okay, like later this week, and breakups and how they're related. That being said, little disclaimer, and as I advised this guy as well, that I can help you with things like that, but I can't monitor if you have an addiction problem, I cannot monitor you on a daily, weekly basis, which may be required with somebody who has an addiction to a substance. And so, as I advise this gentleman, and I advise you too, if you're in a consult, and I would give you resources, you need to go seek out local resources where you can be monitored. Slogo says the notification links to this stream was broken. Dude, I don't know why that is. I'm really not sure why that is, but cool. Glad to hear it. Yeah, so anyways, back to it. So this gentleman had some addiction things going on, and we helped him as much as we could in our session, and hopefully he's continued his work in his local area to continue some progress there. But that being said, with that, right, it's where was I going with that? Interrupted by the notifications not happening. But anyway, it's so like that's right. He said his biggest complaint or issue was like, dude, it bothers me when you guys, me like Rule Zero and people in the men's help space, we'll call it, are like, well, man, just do the work, just do it. Like, get out there and do it. Don't be a female body part, get out there and do the work. He's like, man, I get it. I know I need to do the work. That's not the problem. The problem is I can't, or I try and I have these massive things holding me back from doing the work. That described exactly why I did this mindset course first, because a lot of you guys know what to do, but you can't yet. It doesn't mean you can never do it, but at that moment, in the moment right now, you can't. Okay. Because you have things holding you back internally up here. We have to recondition, just like it would be like me taking you to the gym and saying, okay, deadlift this 405 off the floor. And you've never deadlift before. So what? Like how am I? And then you end up trying to hurt yourself doing it. But point is, you can't do it yet. You've never deadlifted before. You don't have the strength to do it, and you don't have the neurological connections to do it, or the form. Your kinesthetic chain's going to be off. Like everything's off, right? If you've never done it before and you don't have the strength yet, you got to condition your body to be able to accomplish that goal, right? It's not going to work just for me to take you in there and then yell at you to do the work, pick it up, don't be a female body part, pick up that weight. And you're just like, bro, it's my first workout. Or, I'm a little out of shape right now. I'm out of condition. I can't just pick it up. I want to. I'll do all what it takes to eventually pick it up, but I can't do that right now. And a lot of people don't understand that even with things like handling frame in your relationships, that's exactly what it is. Like you want to respond differently to your girl, but you're not conditioned enough up here to be able to do it yet. And it doesn't take quite as long to condition this part to change and shift some of those behaviors, actually, depending on what it is. And so that's why this course came out first. It was out of necessity. It wasn't like I'm just going to make a bunch of money and throw some trash on Gumroad or something. It was me needing to solve a problem for my clients and you guys who are listening to this stuff, which is that you know what to do, but you just can't do it yet. You're not there yet. You want to do it. You want to put the work in, but you don't know what to do to get this conditioned or this right up in here so that you can do the thing that you are reading about and that you're hearing about on YouTube. You can handle your relationships better because this thing is better. You can go out and get your money right because this thing's better. You can motivate yourself to do different things and not hold yourself back because this is working the way it should, right? And that's a process best described as neurobehavioral conditioning, all right? You have a stimulus, okay? You have your neurons. Those neurons attach to a response. And so some of your responses are really good and it'll get you to what you want. And some of them aren't so good and they will not get what you want. And so we need to change that neural connection. We need to unlearn this connection to we'll say the inadequate or the unapplicable or the response that's not working. And we need to create or develop a different neural connection to a different response. So let's say in that relationship, when your girl says or does a certain thing, and you have this response that makes you want to lose emotional self-control, we go through a process of reconditioning that response so that the response instead is having emotional self-control and handling that circumstance or that situation, that stimulus with a different framework. That's how you get what you want. It's a process of learning and learning how to relearn and unlearn also. All right. You're using your brain's neuroplasticity. And this course is 52 modules to address different ways of doing that and different problems. You can literally self-correct and solve most, if not all, your problems just by following the exercise in these modules. So that's reason for having that. I'm going to do this massive frame course and teach people how to develop this impeccable frame and get next level. Well, I'm going to give the information out, but what's going to happen is they're not going to be able to do it. And so my job as a coach/consultant is to figure out, not just give you the info what to do, because that stuff's for free on YouTube. I'll give it away. I don't care. Here's what you do. Okay, how come you're not doing it though, right? That's the question. I have to figure out how to work with you and work with people in general to get those results to happen for you, right? Not just here's what you say or here's what you do game-wise for your girl, but okay, how do we maintain this relationship in the right way? How do we let this be authentic? Not just a thing that I heard on the internet from some dude, right? And so you have to make real substantial changes with the way you're processing information. And that's what the conditioning program is all about. And so doing consults after consult with guys, I found myself giving the same homework assignments, the same kind of exercises. So I just put a bunch of those together, and I had to stop myself. I got 18 plus hours in. I could have kept going, and I had to stop it because it's just, I finally got to a point of completion. But there's actually a lot more. Okay. So yeah, this is a Q&A. So yeah, so right now my weight training regimen is pretty simple. It's not really that hard. I focus more on rest and making sure I get proper rest and proper diet. And I've been in more of a maintenance phase for a while because I've been working on the business. That's about to change here soon. I'm going to start setting some different fitness goals again. I'm probably getting more in fighting condition again. That's actually what I'd like to be doing here. And so, but what do I do is really simple, man. It's like 3 days a week. And I focus on volume. I focus on doing actually a higher amount of reps at high resistance. When I say higher, I mean 12 to 20 reps. Okay. And I get near failure. I'm not doing like the powerlifting thing anymore right now, anyways. And I'm focusing on movement and movement patterns and doing basically a split that's 3 days a week, 1 day legs, 2 days upper body. And I basically doing shoulders and arms and traps and any auxiliary stuff on like a Friday. Wednesday's usually leg day, and then Monday's usually push pull. And so that's all I've been doing. It's been real simple. I've kind of backed it off into that. A lot of what you see here has been years of development. You know what I mean? You can start, it's been years of development of doing different programs across the board. So that's a cumulative effect of that. I haven't really made any huge gains. And if anything, I've lost endurance and some stuff over the summer, just kind of dicking around, really focused though on building Apex mindset and a little bit of, I guess you could say having some fun and whatever. But now I'm into getting back into condition, probably for more or less fight conditions. So my workout patterns will change, But the biggest thing about working out's the easiest part, man. Like the best, thing that you need to focus on is not just what you do in the gym. Have a nice, good, intense workout in the gym, right? Cool. But focus on your sleep quality. It's the biggest thing right there. Your growth and your recovery is predicated on your sleep quality. I'll have clients. I've had people because I can train people on in fitness too. By the way, I don't really market that though. But I've master fitness master fitness trainer for the DoD, the Army. Went through that course. I have personal training certifications, whatever. Just not something I do for a living. But I've had guys come to me for that. I've built programs for people. And what it amounts to is focusing again on those habits, the sleeping and the diets, and focusing on the diet and getting in a good, clean build. If you're trying to build muscle, getting in a good, clean, bulking diet so you don't gain too much fat and you get plenty of calories. I hear guys talk about, oh, I can't get any bigger. Well, you're not eating enough, I guarantee it, and you're not resting enough. That's the two reasons you can't get bigger. So unless your hormones are compromised, which if you're not, 38 plus years old, that shouldn't be the case. So don't talk to me about TRT if you're 28 years old and you think it's a hormonal problem. I mean, get tested to make sure, but it's probably not what it is. I think if you get sunlight, take a vitamin D supplement, get sleep, and eat right, and get plenty of protein, you'll find that your T levels are fine for building muscle if you're under 38 years old. And that's not your problem. Okay. Your problem is the rest of the things you're doing. So that's the biggest thing I could give you on that. So what do we got here? Interested in purchasing? Yes. Can share a question about breakups. I'll email you for that. Oh yeah. You can email me on the breakup thing. So there's a module in here about breakups and how to get over them. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But that's a big thing. People trying to get over these breakups. Look, if you're not over it 90% by 6 weeks after the breakup, you're doing it wrong. Okay. Now I know that sounds crazy. Like I said that in Rule 0, and a couple of guys were like, Well, yeah, I mean, not completely over it, though, right? And I'm sitting there going, no, no, yet completely over it. Now, when I say completely, what I mean is this, okay? And I'll talk about this more on the addiction and breakup show, all right, tomorrow. But completely over it, meaning that you no longer want to go back to that person. And in fact, you're glad that it's over. That's what your framework. You don't want to go back to that old relationship. If for some reason you were to take that person back, it's because that person has made fundamental changes in themselves, and the relationship that you're starting is basically a new relationship at that point, which rarely works, but it does sometimes. So I don't want to sit here and say it never works because I wouldn't be honest. It does sometimes happen, but it's very, very, very rare. If at 6 weeks, you should be at a point where you're glad it's over. I don't care if you're with her for 30 years of your life. I don't care if she's the love of your life. I don't care about your emotions for her at the time that you were in the relationship. And I don't care how it ended, whether it was tragic or not. You're to a point where you're glad that you're at the place that you are at, regardless, in 6 weeks. Now, I mean, I say that obviously if I'm talking a breakup, not like a death, which even then we should get to a point of acceptance of someone. Like if you're widowed from someone, you should get to a point of acceptance a lot faster, but it maybe not be 6 weeks. It might take you a few months for that sort of thing. But the actual breakup, where she's alive still, it's a breakup though, that's about 6 weeks. What I mean is, it doesn't mean that you won't occasionally think nostalgically about how you felt in the relationship or some of those things, and kind of go, yeah, I missed that a little bit. You might do that at 6 weeks, but that's as far as it goes. And you realize that that's dead, and that person is no longer the same person that you can be with anymore. Both you and her are completely different than you were when you were experiencing those times. You look at back at with nostalgic and the sigh or whatever of those moments that were good, but it's more or less and feeling glad that you experienced those, and still being forward looking into experiencing better things with somebody else or even just on your own. And that's a place that you can get your mind to. And again, it's a 6 weeks process. I'll explain why it's 6 weeks tomorrow. There's actual reasons as far as how your brain processes stuff for that timeline. And so I'll get into it, man. You know what I mean? And so how can I stop my porn addiction? Well, we can talk about that. We're going to talk about that stuff tomorrow. So tune in for tomorrow's show on addictions. Okay, because I forgot what time. I think it's noon or something, but you'll have to check. But yeah, tune in for tomorrow's show, because that's something, any addiction, we're going to talk about that process, how it relates to breakups, but also how it relates to things like porn addiction, especially things that are non-substance, right? Because that's just using your neurochemicals are what's making you addicted. Yes, definitely smash the like button. So back to it. Yeah, going through some of the modules or things. Well, let's see if I can pull this up here. Yeah, so I mean, looking through the wheel, maybe I'll just share my screen. Yeah, I'll go through a copy of the manual. So I have a companion manual to help keep 52 modules straight. And I'll go through some of these things and talk about a couple of these things. But yeah, so to kind of end that story off, though, it's really like a lot of you guys know, I know you want to fix problems and you've struggled with being able to fix them, and you know what to do, and you've gotten the advice and it's not working. That's what this is designed for. It's basically, it's like, if you're not strong enough to deadlift this weight, here's your workout program. Here's a bunch of different things you can do to work out to get the strength and conditioning to be able to deadlift this thing off the ground eventually. Right? Here's your progression program. Here's what you do. Now, I'm not tailoring a personal mental fitness plan for you. I can't do that in a course, because everyone's different, right? But I'm giving you the tools to be able to tailor it for yourself. You can book a consult with me if you want further work, which is what I'd rather be doing. I'd rather when you come to me for help, I'd rather be able to give you, help give you some of the answers, give you a track, a path to go. We develop a plan together, but you've already done some mental fitness stuff to begin with. So that plan will actually work for you. Otherwise, what ends up happening, I'm like, here's the plan, but here's where you're going to run into barriers. And so now here's some mental fitness exercises to try to get over the anxiety you have when you approach women, for example, or the anger you have over, your exes and getting cheated on, and now you're bringing it into your current relationship, or, you're limiting beliefs and thoughts about money because you grew up, in poverty, and now those limiting things are causing procrastination and other things for you to succeed financially. Well, okay, so here's some exercises for that, right? Like in a consult with me, I would rather be able to get dialed in on better on your plan and to be able to move us towards that because you've been doing some of these mental fitness exercises already. And if you haven't yet, I can just tell you which modules to focus on and as part of it. I mean, that won't be the whole consult, obviously, but that would be part of it. So now we got a reference point and something that is really back to it a low cost. I mean, 18 plus hours of material, man, and it's in stuff that's like literally going to change you and help you make these changes, dude. That's like the course is worth, it's several $1,000s worth of material. I don't say that lightly. It's just, if I was thinking entrepreneurially and not just wanting to deliver this to you guys so you can help yourself, I would have broke this up into 3 different courses and released them over the course of the next year, probably year, like almost like every 4 months, release more information. And each version would have been, over double where I've got it priced right now. Instead, you guys have been waiting for this stuff. You guys have been waiting. Some of you guys have been waiting for like a year for me to get something out to you guys. So this is, something when I'm offering it at like an exclusive offer in the email list, I mean it. Like you'll never see that price again for any 18-hour course worth its salt. You know what I mean? This is literally just a gift for you guys in a sense. And so take advantage of it. I'm going to do these shows all week. I'm going to announce it each show right now in the chat and in the description. You have the link to hit the link, get on the email list. You'll get then an email sent to you automatically. That'll be where you can purchase the course at. After Saturday, when I close enrollment for just my exclusive list, the price goes up double, and I'll reopen it on Monday at the closer to the normal price. And I say closer because I got a community that's going to happen next month and a couple of different tiers of a membership program next month for the seduction stuff. Okay. So with that, this is the time to get in at a super deal with this. So you're not spending crazy money on stuff, but it's not like it's not worth it, the money. It's just that I understand that not everybody has a money tree in their backyard. So I'm trying to make it affordable for you guys, and I'm trying to make it as best as I can able for you guys to be able to attain all of this information and put your work, get some work done. You know what I mean? All right, so let's look at some more stuff. Okay, well, I think he's asking about that one. All right, so what do we got? Working extremely hard on my business and have maybe 1 extra hour per day max. Would I still be able to manage your course modules? Yeah, Lucas, absolutely. Because here's the thing about it. You can go through, this is why I did a companion manual. You can go through the companion manual and look at what's in each module and just skip to the modules that fit you the most. And so I kind of explained this in an introduction. It's 18 plus hours of 52 modules. So this is not something you're just going to complete in a weekend with any kind of like quality. This is something you're going to want to reference back to for the next 5 years, 10 years. Really, it's what it is. I reference back to this stuff. This is all notes that I've taken, not just for my clients, but for myself. I'm tweaking my mental fitness program and activity on a regular basis. And so when I'm using this same information, I'm handing it off to you guys. And actually there's more to it, but I just couldn't keep going and making the course even longer. But yeah, dude, even just a few minutes each day, you really just, throw on one of the modules and listen to it so you get the idea while you're driving to work. You plug it into your phone, whatever, run it on your phone, run it through your vehicle. You listen to audiobooks when you commute. Just listen to this stuff when you're commuting or cleaning or doing some of that other busy work. Get the gist of what it is, and then use that companion manual to look at the assignment and look at what you would want to do for that action plan for that module, and then just hit it one module at a time. This isn't intended for you to like go live on a mountaintop and transform your brain in a weekend. That kind of stuff is BS usually anyway. Okay, usually. Not every, but usually that stuff's BS. This is intended for you to do a little bit every single day. So you figure out what is the thing that's going to give you the most return on your investment of time. And you do that little bit of mental fitness exercise, that's included in one of the modules, and you run it, and you run one or two modules for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then you hit the next one. So this thing is intended for you guys to benefit from it for years. Okay. And boom. Well, Frank, we are going to talk about that stuff in a community in next month. Is there a textbook for the seduction course? It is not a textbook. It'll be a course. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to have a membership program next month. And here's why I'm doing it like that. Because look, again, I can give you guys all of the material on frame and seduction. The problem is people have a real hard time grasping onto it, understanding it, and executing it. They're already trapped in their own little paradigms. They have a huge problem or issue stepping out of that to see things differently. And anyone who's consulted with me, for a little while can tell you that that's kind of how it works. And so it takes some monitoring and management. I can't just write a book on it, hand it to you, and you're going to know how to apply it. You know what I mean? And so again, as a consultant and a coach, what can I do to maximize your results? The seduction course would have been another 18 plus hour course. And then people would have been like, oh, this is awesome or whatever. Could have broke it up into 3 modules and, or 3 versions of it, right? And added to it, every 4 months, open and close enrollments, and made a ton of money on it. But how many people would actually know how to apply it? And that's my problem. Like, if you're not able to get the results, then that could be you, but I need to make sure it's me. Okay. That's not me. We'll put it like that. I need to make sure I'm doing everything I can to enable you to get the results. And then if you don't, you don't. I mean, if the player you're coaching doesn't win the game, hey, if you did everything you could to maximize that player's ability, you've done your work. And that's where I'm at. And so I wouldn't be doing you a service just releasing a book or a course, don't it's the show's on record, bro. You can, like, when it's over with and YouTube repost it, you can go back and listen. Guy's phone died. Well, that sucks. But anyway, so yeah, dude, everybody, it's so here's how I'm having to do it, which is I'm going to do different membership tiers. Now, part of that membership program is going to be the seduction course built into it. So you have the modules, and then from there, we're doing Zoom calls almost every week. I say almost because there'll be some holidays and some planned weeks where someone else will sub in, or it'll be off that week. But at least 48 to 50 weeks out of an entire year, we're going to do Zoom calls, and you bring your questions and your things that you're working on to the call. Or you can jump in the community that's also in the membership tiers, ask questions there. Okay. I'll put out stuff that's exclusive to the community and exclusive to people in the different membership tiers. And it allows you to work the material to get expert level at seduction. And when you run into problems or hiccups or bumps in the road, we can get those problems addressed right away. So that way you're not just reading or looking at material. receiving some success, but not getting 100% where you want to go. I want to maximize your ability to be successful. Handing off this course will do the course an injustice on seduction, and it'll do you not as much as I could. So that's what next month is going to happen. And then you'll have this mindset course on top of it that is all of the mental fitness stuff that you'll need to keep your mental game together while you're executing the things you need to execute in a relationship and in your dating market in order to get the results you want with women. And so they piece together quite well, which again, that's why I'm trying to offer these things as good of a, as reasonable, we'll say, of a price as I can before I start pricing it closer to value, which is, right now it's a steal. It really is a steal. That's what everybody's saying. That's not just me. So I've had a lot of people pick it up so far. It hasn't even been 24 hours yet. And people are saying, yeah, this is a ton of value, man. And they're very grateful for it. All right, let's look for some questions here. I'm going back upward here because I know. Okay, so yes, yeah, I talk about anxiety in general and getting rid of anxiety and stuff like that, and some action plans. Some, I should say, actions or activities you can do, and you apply those things to social anxiety. So, for example, open my manual here on the Word document. But yeah, so for example, I got stuff on, again, talk about neurobehavioral conditioning. So right now you're getting emergency anxious signal in social situations. So the stimulus is social situations, and then that's sending it over to emergency signals in your brain that's causing you distress. There's a ton of activities here that will allow you to rehearse different responses, new responses, ingrain those responses, and then go back out in the world and behaviorally be different in those situations. And so it's a way to step into getting rid of social anxiety. There's a whole bunch of modules. There's quite a few that will apply to your situation. Now, once again, if you're having trouble with a prescription, try it on your own first. But if you're having trouble with a prescription and figuring out how to apply the exercise appropriately, well, that's worth a consult. That's better, because what would happen is you would book a consult. I would ask a lot of questions to try to understand your problem as much as I can, and then I would assign some stuff. And then you would go do the stuff, and then you would probably come back to me and you would say, yeah, I'm running into these barriers when I do stuff. And then I go, okay, well, here's some more stuff to overcome those barriers. And doing that once or twice, then you're on the right track. And usually a small number of consultations, 2 to 4 of them, you're getting exactly what you want, which is a lot better than, years of therapy and not getting any results, which is what happens to most people. So we're getting results really quickly, but it may take some, we could say, trial and error. You apply some prescriptions and some of those work, some don't, and we got to tweak it a little bit. Well, getting the course will allow you to start applying combinations of prescriptions on your own. And no, this is not medication or drugs, so there's no bad side effects for trying the wrong thing, have it not quite, trying something and have it not exactly work well with you, and without having to do something else different with it. You get what I'm saying? And so, yeah, if you want to expedite the process, get the course, book a consult, and we'll get you on the right track even quicker. But that being said, though, you can just get the course and run it that way, and then just, if you're still having trouble, then come see me. We'll talk about it. And so, see, that's the reason, right? Like situations like that. That's why I have this course out, because I want to be able to give you the tools to do it rather than spending, more of your resources on booking time with me to do it, when I can hand it to you in a course format that's going to last you for years and years, So let's see here. What's this question? We got, I work underground as a hole driller, long hole driller. All right. Easy, no brainer work. So download videos like this on YouTube, Audible, listen to it. You know what? I don't know how. I'll have to check on that as far as downloadable. So here's the thing. It's not, you probably can download and then watch, but when you're logged in, but I don't know, you're not going to be able to download it to a separate device because then I'm going to have people copying my course. Right. You know what I mean? So that's the problem. It's on Kajabi, which is a thing, a platform, so that it protects me a little bit. Obviously, there's still ways for you to copy stuff, but it protects me a little bit from you being able to bootleg my stuff. And so that's why it's not exactly just, downloadable. All right. So I don't know if you can do what you're trying to do. You should be able to, there should be a way. I'll ask the Kajabi help and maybe get back to you on that. But either way, I mean, it's still good for you to get it and just apply it, right? I mean, whether you can listen to it or not while you're working is a whole nother story. All right. So, was this? I don't know what you mean. No, the addiction. So, does that have to be addressed before? No. Oh, yeah. Dealing with an addiction? No, no. What's up, Jerry? How are you, bro? So, no, it doesn't. Thank you, Jerry. It's so inexpensive because my gift to you guys. I'm not bullshitting. Like Jerry will tell you, man. Like my Rich will tell me he thinks I'm a I'm an idiot, for pricing it as low as I am. From a from a business sense, I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? In that sense. I mean, I'm not really. I do know what I'm doing here, but for in a business sense, I could sell it for what I'm going to roll it out on Monday or even higher than that. I could do that for you guys. I mean, I could, and I don't think I would hurt my sales that much. I would make double the money on it probably, and I might get a few less sales, but not very much. But again, I'm doing it because you guys have been dedicated. You guys that are listening right now, at least most of you, and you guys that are in the on my email list and all that stuff. So you guys have been listening to me and trying to follow my work now for 6 months to a year or longer. You know, and so my neighbor is like going crazy over there. So 1 second, guys. My neighbor needs relationship coaching. I had my window open and like she's like, they're all, bitch, I hate you. They're totally going Jerry Springer outside my window right now. It's crazy. Anyway, that sucks. I don't know if you guys could hear, probably not, but it was distracting the hell out of me. And so these guys they're like throwing stuff on the lawn. I'm not gonna film it, but I know, right? I gotta maybe I'll bring my neighbor copy of my course, be like, hey bro, like you're getting a little upset. maybe she maybe you should be a little more outcome independent and just tell her to leave live demo time, right? Dude, I'm telling you, man, they're not happy, really not happy. So I had my window open. I was so distraught. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's all I need is to get sued for some privacy issue. It's crazy. Like I'm in a high income area too. It's not like I got trailers or whatever, trailer park fights happening. I've been in those neighborhoods like in different times in my life, like not really trailer parks, but the apartments where all kinds of crap goes on. But my neighborhood's pretty good, so this is an interesting thing. Oh man, that's messed up. But anyway, so yeah, I got off track. Oh yeah, the price, dude. I know. I'm offering it way too inexpensively, but that again, it closes on Saturday, and it'll never be offered again at this low price. And I'll be back up to still too low in my opinion, at double the price. But it's going to only be there for a few more weeks, and then in November when I roll out the membership program, it'll go up a little bit more than hold probably be about, holding at the third tier, we'll say the third price is more closer to where it would sell at, and that's where it's going to stay. And so this is an opportunity, for you guys to get on it. And like I said, you guys have been dedicated to my stuff, and I want to offer that to you guys. I'm appreciative of you guys supporting me, sharing my stuff to people, coming to me for help, So I wanted to show that gratitude by offering this at the price I'm offering it. I'll make money doing other stuff. Like I'll make more money doing other stuff. That's not important for this. All right. So what's important is that you guys get the stuff and have the material and the ability to make real changes, and to actually fix some of these problems you guys have been struggling with. And there's a lot of grifters out there that'll take your money and show you some stuff, and you'll do their courses, you'll do their material, you'll listen to them talk, and then you're going to turn around a year from later, you're in the same place, sometimes worse, and so that's just not, that's not good, right? I want you guys to start getting results, man. That's it. And so, yeah, we'll go back into it. Let's see. Other methods to maintain attraction while cohabitating. Yeah, so that's going to be in the seduction course. All right. So that's going to be covered more there, is actually relationship psychology, intersexual dynamics, and applying this stuff. But yeah, it kind of comes back to, like, if you can't get you right up here, you can't maintain your mental and emotional stability and well-being, you're not going to be able to execute frame very well. It's going to be difficult for you, or a challenge. And that is why I'm putting this thing out first, and putting it out inexpensively. So you guys there's no excuse to not get this. There's no excuse to not get the material. There's no excuse to not start fixing some of these issues, or at least getting on track to do that. Right. So is that good for someone who's been in it? Yes, absolutely. 100%, Roger. And so, yeah, so the seduction course is a complete course on what we've termed, or call in like the red pill spaces, as frame. All right. It's going to take you from the initial getting the girl part, the pickup, into the relationship, and even years down the line in a relationship. So it takes you from all those places. But here's the thing about that. If you're in a relationship like you are, Roger, all of the stuff in the beginning will still teach you there's still seduction methods in there that apply to you in your current situation. You know what I mean? And then even if you're just trying to get the girls and you haven't, trying to get, dates, right? And you're not in a relationship yet, eventually you're going to have long-term plates, long-term relationships, and you're going to want that other material. And so you need all of it. Even if you're in an LTR, management of your LTR often boils down to skills you have or don't have that should have been being developed during the dating phase. So you can go backwards and develop some of those skills while in the LTR, while in the relationship. So that's what's cool about that. Okay, we're going to cover all of it. And then you'll be able to ask questions in those Zoom calls, and you run into, you could be, get the material, you're doing pretty good, everything's solid for a couple months, and all of a sudden some hiccup happens, like you're like my neighbors right now, throwing trash all over the yard and yelling at each other. And what ends up happening is you end up, having to ask me that question. So when I throw her stuff in the yard, do I throw it more like a baseball or like a football? Like, you can ask me those questions in the Zoom call, and we can start solving those problems, because that's what happens, right? Things are going smooth. Okay, cool. I'm on the right track. And then boom, I'm not on the right track anymore. Right? Things aren't working the way that I want to. That's what ends up going down, And so I need some help. I need a fix. And that's what we're doing, And so that's what's all in store for you guys. And, in a nutshell, this wasn't just a big advertisement for an hour for a course, but it's to get you guys thinking about your inner game. I don't want you to sit here and beat yourself up, you know, and like think, man, these guys just tell me to do the work. And I've been trying to do the work and I know I've been putting effort in and I can't. I just can't get it. I can't make it work. What do I do? This is the answer. Or I've been putting in the work, but it's slow going, or I'm not getting, I know I'm getting somewhere, but I'm not getting there quite as fast as I like. This is the course. The mindset course is the fix for that. It's going to teach you how to retrain your behavior, your emotional responses, and your thoughts. Okay, how to retrain that stuff. So in those moments, you respond the right way. You're more alpha in a sense. You're more attractive when you need to be attractive. You're more assertive when you need to be more assertive. You're more emotionally self-control when that's what you need. And it's a process that you're just going to work on. I'm working on my physical body. We all just go to the gym or work out, right? Do something for our fitness till the day we die. But then we neglect working on this part for some reason. We think that happens automatically, and it really doesn't. And so these are some small things that are in a big course where you just take it one module, one piece at a time, and go through it. And so I'm kind of at the end of what today's show is going to be. But you know what? I will go into a share here. Let's go to a share. We'll share the screen. Boom. We'll do this because so I'll show you guys. Let's see. Got all my computer's a bit messy because I've been working stuff. All right, so you can look at here's the all the modules, right? Because that question was asked. So but intro is pretty good. Explains outcome independence really well and why you're going to need that. Don't eat paint warning as module 2. Talk about being action focused here in the rule of simplicity, where this is not a manifestation, woo-woo, magical thinking course. This is stuff where we're getting results. Okay, we're focusing on action. Talk more about neurobehavioral conditioning, and I give you action plans here to identify behaviors you need to change, and I give you the formula to how to change them. Insulating yourself, we talk about that and how to get rid of influences that are negative in your mindset and bad on you, whether it's people or whether it's social media or whatever it is. We talk about that and some things you need to do to action there. Multitasking and focus. And so pretty much how not to multitask, but how to be more efficient in your singular tasks that you're doing. This is going to help you really 10x your ability to focus on things and get focused work done. How to have better social circles and how to influence your relationships and control the influence that those relationships have on you. That's a big thing. Growth mindset and how to reward yourself so that you can embrace the suck and learn how to get reward from hard work. And so sometimes people procrastinate or they avoid hard work or they just hate certain types of work. This will retrain your mind to feel motivated to do that work that you just don't want to do sometimes. Environmental reset and how to set your environment up so it's conducive for how your brain works. Talk about different breath and breathing techniques from a science perspective, not a spiritual one necessarily, okay? And so the effects that has on your physiology. Go through a morning routine and how to set that up so you start the day off right. How to properly meditate, not in a woo-woo way, but in a way that benefits you, not in a way that sucks time and energy away from your day, but in a way that gives you more time and energy. We talk about the brain waves and that stuff and how that's working. How to use walking activities to better your decision-making skills and your emotional self-control and your physical health. Dealing with anxiety, depression, cognitive disorders, mood disorders, ADHD. We do talk a little bit about exercise and diet, how it pertains to here and your neurology. We talked about some instinctual pillars, the be lethal, be survivable, and be able to solve the reproductive problem as far as being alpha, right? Non-sleep, deep rest and techniques there to regenerate and rejuvenate yourself within a couple minutes okay, and then have that energy for the rest of the day. An identity exercise, you can be that best version of you, anchoring different states. Someone talked about having social anxiety. Well, that's you can anchor a state of being in a non-anxious state and get into social situations and start reconditioning that response. How to do actual goal visualization in a way that's benefiting rather than harming you. Believe it or not, your visualization techniques can actually hinder your results, believe it or not. And so we talk about that and how to do mental rehearsals for success, why appearance is important. Okay, more on action focused and some assignments to do some action oriented exercises, right? And how to use your reticular activating system and awareness systems in order to notice opportunities that you wouldn't have noticed before, how to change beliefs, how to change and how to challenge beliefs, challenge your decision making so you know that you're making the right choices when those choices, difficult choices, are presenting themselves, surgical goal setting, productivity hacks up this crazy productivity hacks. These things those will blow your mind. Hyper learning, how to learn very quickly, how to increase your memory, how to organize. I address ADHD specifically and specific problems to that because a lot of people have it, not just from a genetic level, but technology induced ADHD. So we talk about handling that. Can't be an alpha, if you're all over the place and a mess. And so we're going to help you with that. How to properly outsource, get good people, developing new and better habits. I don't have much here in this written down because the module is huge. It's like over an hour, I think. Addiction and breakups we'll talk about tomorrow. Modeling, okay, how to model different behaviors that you are useful to you, getting into an alpha zone or mind state, how to actually do affirmations in a way that's helpful, how to disassociate from pain, reassociate and come up with new associations to stimulus, difference between a flow state and a learning state, how to get in either one. Radical acceptance, that's an interesting concept. We're going to talk about that later this week too, how to get to that point so you can have that mental clarity and emotional self-control, getting rid of past traumas and EMDR and being able to do that, and a guide on how to do that on your own safely. And of course, caveats to that, you want to get a therapist to do it if you're dealing with some major issues. But I talk about the don't eat paint stuff in the course, how to actually do manifestations, but not a BS way, but how to actually make that happen. Some different body repair hacks, injury healing stuff, okay? And some of the science behind that may be useful to you, maybe not. Sleep optimization is a big one, right? Why being in nature is important, what that does to your brain. Supplements, okay? Different supplements for brain health. What gratitude and altruism does for your neurology and your success and the ability to achieve success. Some conclusions, and then from there, I have a bunch of bonus modules on hypnosis and here, let me get back into here. So we'll stop sharing. A bunch of bonus modules where I do hypnosis activities. I give you an alpha brainwaves thing. I give you EMDR things. You can do that stuff all on your own. And so, yeah, actually, dude, I got a whole thing on goal planning that will help you with your business. And I've coached people on business coaching. Usually, though, I don't bill myself as a business coach, more of a performance coach, but I help people with getting their real estate teams together and their businesses together and sales, dude. Like, could write a sales script too, or at least help them develop those sales scripts. So the marketing and sales aspect and organizing their business and project management stuff, that's actually in there in the goal setting module. So that's all the stuff, man, you guys wanted. So there are no webinars for this one, man. I'm not going to do live webinars for this. It's all inclusive in a course. And so that's a good question. That's what the community is going to be. When we do the seduction course, we're going to do live webinars. This one's not going to have that. It's just an included course. Membership programs are going to have that. We're going to do live webinars for that. And other courses in the future will be less material. You're not going to do 18 plus hours plus webinars. That would take you all year. Like 18 plus hours worth of material is designed for you to really use for the next several years. Okay. Not saying you can't, watch it all and binge watch it. Like if you want to, if you really like hearing me talk that much, I don't know, that'd be crazy. but it's really designed for you to use for a very long time. And so, yeah, that's it, man. At the limits of my time, did a little bit hour here, and I got to get on some consults, but I'm glad you guys are excited about it. And like I said, it's my gift to you. Like, I know, okay, it's a gift, but it's for money. It is, but it's a lot less expensive than it should be right now. Like, trust me. Jerry said it best. Why the F are you charging so low for this course? Because I want to show you guys my gratitude. You'll get to that module when you get the course, but gratitude is really important. Gratitude is how you can really develop a lot of abundance. And I want to be able to give back to you guys, give you guys more value than what I'm going to get back in return monetarily. So that is why up till Saturday it is at the lowest price you're ever gonna see this thing at, or probably anything I put out for that matter. And then it's gonna go start getting into more normal prices after that. Not overpriced. It's still gonna be priced well next week, but it'll be double where it's at, if you guys want to know. So if you're curious about how much it is, well, that's for you to find out by getting on the email list. It's the first thing in the chat, and then it's the first, it's right there in the description of the video. Get on the email list and go to the you'll get an email that invites you to purchase or look to purchase the course. When you hit that link, it'll tell you what the price is, obviously, before you buy it. And then that'll be it. And I don't want to say on video. Do you know why? Because I don't want people to be pissed off in a week when it's double and still inexpensive at double, but I don't want them to feel like they got duped or something. Look, I'm doing everything I can to offer this to you guys at the best rate I can. And so hopefully, more people appreciate that than not. It seems like more people are. So I want people to be upset when they missed it. It is still worth it at the higher price points, but that's why I'm not going to say it on YouTube. Okay. Anyways, thanks guys again for the support, and like the video and maybe share it or do something like that. Make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you tomorrow when we talk about addictions and breakups at noon. Okay. I believe that's when I have it on schedule. So I'll see ya. Take care.